The world was watching. A shoe had just flown across the air during a political rally in Nairobi. It missed its mark by inches, but it didn't go unnoticed. The man at the center of the storm? President William Ruto of Kenya. Cameras captured the moment. Social media exploded. Some laughed, some were angry. But behind the drama, behind the thrown shoe, there was a deeper story. And what followed next, no one could have predicted. Exactly 7 days later, as the sun rose over the Nairobi skyline, a quiet buzz filled Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. There were no parades, no red carpets, just a private jet bearing the flag of Burkina Faso. Out stepped a tall, focused young man, President Ibrahim Traoré. Known across Africa not just for his military background, but for his bold ideas and connection with the people. He had come not for business or formal state matters, he came as a brother, as a fellow African leader, as someone who had felt the weight of leadership early in life. Traoré came with a message carried not in files or diplomatic notes, but in his heart. At State House Nairobi, the setting was informal. No long tables or microphones. Just two leaders sitting beneath the shade of an old jacaranda tree. The scent of fresh Kenyan chai lingered in the air. Ruto looked worn. The events of the week had taken a toll on him, but he was still composed, a leader holding his ground. Traoré took a sip of tea, then looked at Ruto with calm eyes. "Brother," he began, "a shoe may miss your face, but the message it carries may still hit your heart." Ruto raised an eyebrow. "You mean to tell me that a shoe has a message?" Traoré nodded slowly. In Africa, people don't always speak with words. When the mouth fails, the hands speak. Sometimes they throw what they have. Not to hurt, but to cry out. Ruto sat back, silent. For a moment, the birds overhead were the only sound. "Tell me, Ibrahim," he finally said, "what do you think they were crying out for?" Maybe it was hunger, maybe hopelessness. Maybe it was a plea to be seen, not just ruled. They walked through the garden, speaking openly. No aides, no media. Traoré shared stories from Ouagadougou, how he had walked barefoot as a child, how he now walked among his people without fear, without convoy. "Power," he said, "is not in titles. It is in service. If your people are hungry, your speeches are empty." Ruto listened, his face serious. "But it's not easy. The pressure, the politics, the economy. Sometimes I feel surrounded by voices, but none speak the truth." "Then go to where truth lives," Traoré replied. "Go to the streets, go to the slums, sit with the mothers, hear the heartbeat of the nation, not through reports, but through their tears." Ruto looked away for a moment, as if absorbing every word. That afternoon, in a move that shocked even his security team, Ruto and Traoré stepped into an old Toyota pickup truck. No sirens, no escort. They drove through Kibera, Kenya's largest informal settlement. Children ran beside the car, waving. Some adults stared, confused, wondering if their eyes were lying. The two leaders stepped out, walking among vendors, boda riders, and jobless youth. There were no speeches, only greetings, handshakes, and smiles. An old woman approached them, holding a small bag of groundnuts. "You are our leaders," she said. "But remember, even trees fall when roots are forgotten." Traoré looked at Ruto. "Wisdom hides in dusty places. That woman just gave us a sermon." Back at State House, as the evening fell and lanterns were lit, the two presidents sat by a small bonfire. Traoré shared how his people expected him to lead barefoot, not above them, but among them. How leadership meant sleeping in villages, feeling the same mosquito bites, sharing the same porridge. "Africa is not waiting for saviors in suits," he said. "She needs sons who feel her pain." Ruto nodded, stirred by the honesty. "My journey was not easy either," Ruto shared. "I sold chickens on the roadside. I know hunger, I know hustle, but somewhere I think I lost that touch." "Then go back to it," Traoré said. "It's not weakness to walk with the poor. its strength. The next morning, as Traore prepared to leave, he handed Ruto a small, carved wooden box. Inside was a tiny wooden shoe, beautifully crafted. "What is this?" Ruto asked. "A reminder," Traore replied, "that sometimes the loudest voice is throne." Ruto smiled. "Lead them well, brother," Traore said as they hugged. "Kenya is not just your country, it is a light. When Kenya rises, many rise with her." With that, the young leader boarded his plane and flew back west. Weeks passed, but something had shifted. One morning, Nairobi woke to the image of President Ruto walking along the dusty paths of Mathare. No suit, no convoy. He sat with jobless youth, talked to single mothers, shared stories, laughed, listened. Not all problems were solved, but hope began to return. People said, "Our president is back, the man of the people." And in his office, next to his pen, sat a small wooden shoe. A daily reminder. That leadership is not about dodging shoes. It is about listening to what made them fly.